Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, just very quickly at the beginning, a couple of decades ago, a new perception arose because the energy was there for it to be. There was an openness in people about a new concept or a new way of seeing all of this, and basically, it's a very simple message, quite unique and radical, and it's simply saying that the whole sense of the self is illusory, and all that happens in the apparent world is simply without meaning or purpose. It simply is an appearance. So everything is an appearance. Everything is no thing apparently happening. Now, the spiritual and religious and secular world will reject and do reject or dismiss this message out of hand, because most normal people experience themselves as real. They believe they are real. They believe that they have a story that's real. They live in a world that's real, and they have free will and choice. So this message is really, in the main, missed out or rejected or not even noticed. But there are a small group of people who recognize this message for what it is, and they talk about it. We all talk about it together. There are quite a group of people in that small group of people who see this as a non-dual message, but the problem is that they see non-duality as another something. It's as though it's a state that can be reached, whereas actually non-duality is simply a term for a mystery. Non-duality points only at empty fullness. It doesn't say there's anything in it that can be obtained. It's not a path. It's not a state that can be experienced. It's absolutely beyond anything of that sort. So again, all of this confusion about what we're talking about here is simply what is happening. All there is what's happening. This is what's happening. Nothing is, there isn't anything that's real. Everything is in appearance. So in the apparent world we live in, things like racism and the virus and all of those things are simply what is happening. There isn't anything that can be done about them. There isn't anybody that can change them. There isn't anybody. There is just what's happening. So that basically is the message that comes out of this, the open secret conversation, and other people. There are other people that communicate this message in this very radical and unique way. And basically now we're going to talk together, but all the time we're talking together, all there is what's happening. You are sitting on a seat watching a screen. That's what's happening. There's only what's happening. There's nothing new or different about that. It's not unique. It's not a thing that can be understood at all. It is simply the expression of empty fullness. So we can talk together and see what comes out of
Thank you. So the first question is from Ilang or Ilang. Is that somebody? Ilang? Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. Tony, am I visible and audible?
You will be shortly. You're certainly audible.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Yes.
Oh, it's him. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Tony.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, am I audible? Yes, I can
You
hear
are.
you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, good. So if you ask a question, just ask a question.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. This is the first time I'm seeing you. I am from India. I'm a medical doctor. I've been a seeker for the last 30 years. And you created a paradigm shift in 1995 when you started telling us that, you know, there is literally no one talking to no one, and there is no teaching. In India, we have learned it over thousands of years in the Vedas, the same teaching that initially they teach us.
Hold on. I'd rather you just ask a question. I don't want you to go into the history of seeking.
Okay.
So
The
let's
question-
keep it simple and just ask what you want to ask.
The question is there a method in your teaching where I, as a seeker, can get enlightened, if you accept that word as enlightenment? A
No, of
method
course
for
not.
enlightenment.
No, of course there is no method, because this message, which you're obviously not hearing, is unique and radical in that it's saying there is no one. The idea that there is a self is completely illusory. Therefore, there is nothing here on offer to anyone, because there isn't anyone to offer anything to. And the other part of this message is that there is nothing to find. There is no answer to anything. There's no method. All that's being said here is that all there is what's apparently happening. There is no one in it that's making it happen. There is no free will or choice. There's no story. All there is what's apparently happening. So obviously there wouldn't be any teaching of any kind, because there is no one to teach.
But the message is being shared between two body minds as it
No,
stands.
the message isn't being shared at all. The message is being expressed. It's a response. I don't have anything to give to you, because there is no one here to give anyone there anything. So this is a response out of nothing, and all it's saying all the time, you will find, is that all there is what's happening, and there is nothing to find or discover.
Yeah, I understand that there is no Tony Parsons, there is no Ilango here. There is only a message which is being conveyed. Am I right?
Yeah.
But then a message is between
That's the ending.
The message is between two
No,
entities.
no, yeah, that's what you believe it's between two people. There's no one here, and there's no one there asking the question.
But apparently there appears to be. And how does a seeker overcome that?
There
Because
appears to be,
outside
but it's
the-
only an appearance. It's not real. You are not real. I am not real. All there is what's apparently happening.
Then is there a purpose in this message being
No,
given?
none at all. No, obviously not, because there's nothing happening. There's only an appearance of something happening, which has no relevance of any kind.
But Tony, outside of the non-duality realm or the dimension that we are in, after listening to you, when we enter the normal world, when we cross a traffic violation, when there is an issue of taxation, etc., we are being, labeled as an individual, and every day, 24/7.
You're not actually listening to this. I am saying all there is what happens. There isn't anyone it happens to, and it has no meaning or purpose of any kind. So everything you describe is simply what's happening, but it has no meaning or purpose.
Is there anything inside me as such, as a human being?
No, obviously not. As far as this is concerned, there is no separate individual. There is no self. It's an illusion.
But when I get chased by a dog or a tiger, there is a survival.
That's what happens. That is what's happening. You're not listening to this at all. All you're doing is going back to some sort of story about a dog chase. All there is, listen very carefully now, all there is what is apparently happening, and it has no meaning or purpose of any kind.
No, the only reason I'm asking you is, for the last 30 years and 25 years of listening to Tony also, I'm looking at a method, because there appears to be a survival kit inside this human body, which is surviving for the last 57 years. And is there an apparent free-willing entity inside? And probably we can access that. Is there a possibility, that being a possibility?
No.
Because whatever you're
None at
speaking is
all.
also...
There is no possibility. There's no possibility.
No, for example, in science, till Einstein... till Einstein came...
So can you mute and ask the next question?
Yes, of course. Yes. Okay. So the next person is Sunda Singh. Would you like to unmute yourself, Sunda, and ask your question?
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Good morning from Abu Dhabi.
Oh,
Hiya. Can you see me?
I can, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
quite good looking.
So are you?
You're a good looking guy.
That's my...
Okay.
Thank you. I called you a few times this week. The question which I come up with now is this contracted energy, does it be swallowed by the boundless energy, or when the me collapses, so is it the boundless energy that swallows the contracted energy, or if the me collapses, how does it work? I just want
No,
to...
there is only boundless energy. All there
Mhm.
is boundless energy. All there is wholeness, if you like. Look,
Yeah.
let's keep with the energy thing. I like energy. All there is boundless energy, and that boundless energy can also apparently arise as a contracted energy. And it's possible, or it seems to happen, that the contracted energy creates a sense of a me. Self-awareness, self-consciousness arises out of contracted energy, which is boundless energy appearing as a contracted energy, it's only an appearance. And what seems to happen is that people grow up and live in that contracted energy and live in the sense of having a self-awareness, self-consciousness. And they grow up and they live in dualism. So the world basically is living in a dualistic reality. What seems to happen is that when that's questioned, that sense of separation and the individual begins to wonder why they feel separate, it's possible that that contracted energy, which is about self-consciousness and self-awareness, it's possible that that contracted energy can simply melt back into the boundless energy. But that sounds as though something happens. The awful thing about this message is actually there's nothing happening at all. Even the contracted energy apparently melting into the boundless energy is illusory, because all there is nothing apparently happening. So contracted energy is not right or wrong. It's an energy that's apparently happening, but only apparently it appears to happen, but it's not real. There's nothing real about contracted energy. There's nothing real about boundless energy. There's nothing real about anything. All there is nothing apparently happening.
Yes. Now, because I have this contracted energy in me.
You don't have it. It appears to be you're making it real by saying that you, who are a real person, have a contracted energy which is real. It's all an appearance. You are an appearance. You're not real. You are an appearance of nothing. You are nothing appearing as that. And when the contracted energy seems to arise in the body, it's simply nothing arising as an apparent contracted energy. So sorry, but I had to interrupt you just to make it clear that what you're talking about is not real. It only appears to be there. But go on. Go.
It gets difficult.
So you're saying you have an apparent, there's a sense of an apparent energy in the body.
Yes. And this energy is feeling restless. This restlessness is seeking a dissipation, because it's becoming unbearable. It wants to release, and then the me tries to do so many things to make itself free, and in this process it is getting more contracted.
Yeah,
it feels like it's stuck. It feels like it is stuck.
Yeah, you're describing absolutely what most people feel. Yes.
But I hear your message, and something inside is totally resonating with what you say, but still I feel the contraction in my body, the contraction, and it gets restless.
So that's what's apparently happening.
That's
end
it.
of story. That's the end of it. There's nothing to talk about. That's what's apparently happening. And it's possible that suddenly it's not apparently happening, but there's nothing that can be done about it.
One confusion arises is there is a me which is making choices, wanting to do this, wanting to do that, and there is an intelligence which I would like to call, which you say as a brain, which can do things on its own. So there is a confusion between.
No, hold on. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The brain is just a functioning organism. It doesn't do anything on its own. Nothing does anything on its own. All there is what apparently happens, and that is nothing apparently happening.
So the sense of me is illusory. Everything else remains the same.
Totally. Everything is illusory. Everything in that sense is not real. It's only an appearance.
Now, at the moment, what's happening here is the illusion is exposed. I see the illusion very clearly, but still the contraction is there. So what you're saying, it is what is happening.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to go away because you see it as illusory. That's just a concept. And energetically, it's possible that it will suddenly not be there. And also it's possible it will be there. But that is what's apparently happening. Yeah, the seeker is completely and utterly impotent. It's helpless. It can't do anything other than possibly report what it's feeling.
So it appears as the seeker brought me to you, but it is what is happening in real.
Yeah,
okay.
Apparently.
Apparently.
No, it's not real. There's nothing that is real. There is nothing that is real. Everything you're looking at, everything you feel is no thing apparently happening. It's not real. Apparently is the important word. It appears to happen.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, for nothing.
So we've got a question from Muriel Potier. Muriel, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, hello.
We haven't had it. Or haven't we? Did have it before.
Muriel Potier, yes?
Hello, Muriel.
Yes, hello. I don't speak English very well.
That's okay. Just ask your question, yeah?
But do you hear me?
We do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm so happy seeing you in this dream world. I saw you 5 years ago, and for an interview, and there was a wow. That's it. It's obvious. It is new. It is this, and yes, and so and I think that it's only our thoughts, our blah blah thoughts. Do you understand me? When you are thinking, there are blah 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 blah.
Yes, I'm with you. I've heard a lot of blah blah blah. That's all right.
Yes, and because when we see something, there's only the eyes seeing. Okay.
Yeah.
But we have also thoughts who say blah blah blah. It is a green tree. It is a big tree. But there is only this, and without thoughts, there is all there is. That's
But blah 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 is still it. There isn't anything that isn't it. Blah
Yes.
blah blah is nothing appearing as blah blah blah.
Yes, because
there's nothing anybody can do about that. And there's nothing right or wrong about
yes,
it.
because we have only words, dream words, and we cannot speak. It is so funny. There is anything, apparently something. It's very funny, but we have thoughts who say blah 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 blah. We want to explain all the time.
That's okay. What's
yes.
your question? Have you got a question?
Yes. Do you still have blah blah thoughts?
No, I don't have blah blah thoughts, but blah blah thoughts arise.
Yes, yes.
They are what they can happen. Yeah.
And
but they're completely meaningless. So for this, it's just what's happening. Blah blah thoughts are happening, or the wind is blowing through the trees, or there's drinking tea is happening. All of it is the same thing. It's all completely meaningless.
Yes, and it's so funny. It's so funny all this, and it's so peaceful when you say that you have no free will.
Well, I'm not saying you have no free will.
Yes,
I'm
of course,
saying
yes. It's words.
I am saying there is no one.
Yes, of course. Yes,
Oh.
Yes. Of course, it's obvious now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, so now we've got, excuse my pronunciation, Guilherme Kilo. Guilherme, Would you like to unmute yourself, Guilherme?
Yes, yes. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I see. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, you?
Very good. I would like to ask you to talk about a little more about this apparent world. What I mean is, outside of this space we are talking, do you still talk in this way, or you talk as a normal person?
No, in the normal, what you call the normal world, which
Yeah.
is only an appearance, I talk like anybody else about
Yeah.
the world, politics, the interesting story about this or that. I talk to Claire quite a lot about what we're having for dinner or whatever. It's perfectly normal, but this is perfectly normal too. There's nothing amazing about what's going on here. But we are talking about a particular subject from a particular perception.
Mhm.
But basically, yeah, the world goes on, or apparently goes on, but it's only an appearance.
In this way, does still your eyes and your five senses, they still perceive the world as I do?
Yes, but there is no one in there that receives that perception. Seeing happens, hearing happens, but for no one. And that's the essential difference.
Okay. That's where I get a little bit lost.
Yeah, you would do, because you see, you've grown up apparently experiencing drinking tea, or let's talk about sitting on a seat. You've grown up experiencing that you are sitting on a seat. So there is no one here sitting on a seat, but what is arising is sitting on a seat.
Okay.
The actual happening of sitting on a seat, the texture, the weight of it, is what is happening, but for no one. That's all the difference. There's nobody experiencing sitting on a seat. There's no experiencer.
And when you talk about everything being apparent, sometimes it comes to my mind that the things are not solid, that I cannot feel it as solid.
No, there's nothing solid. Everything is only an appearance of nothing. Whatever you're looking at the moment is nothing appearing to be what you're looking at.
But I can still, not me, but this can still be grabbed and touched.
Well, grasping, this can grasp and touch, but that's what's happening. There's no one doing it. That's the essential difference. There's nobody who's sitting on a seat. There's nobody that grabs and touches. There's nobody speaking. Actually, there's nobody speaking there, but there is an idea of there being somebody in that body who is creating that thought. That's an illusion.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have Yasmin. Yasmin, are you around to ask your question?
Yes, hello, Tony.
Hello.
Hi, what I kind of sense with you is that it seems to me that you have no concept whatsoever of good and bad or any, could that be like, my question would be, is the me just a whole mixed up bunch of concepts of good and bad, and that is why it's so hard, because we have all these concepts pushed in our brain and systems, or I have, and I'm beginning to understand more and more that in a way what I see with you is that there is a constant change in life, and the only thing that is really hard for me to live it is to accept that it is the way it is, because I have all these concepts of things of being bad or not allowed or shouldn't be, or like I have resistances, or I believe that people should behave different, the world should be different, and that makes all my suffering. But
because you are dualism. you have, as a young child, entered the world of dualism. So you're now in the dream of me. And your experience is that you are a real person and you live in a world that is real and it's dualistic. It's split into two. So there's good in your world, your experiences, there's good and bad, better and worse, and so on. And that is an illusion that the majority of people live in and have. Therefore, this message is meaningless in that way to people who hear it, who live in dualism, because as far as they're concerned, their experience is that the whole world is split into two, and they live in that world of judgment about one thing being good and the other thing being bad. When that illusion drops away, all there is no thing apparently happening. And that is completely impossible to describe. It is empty fullness. It is nothing and everything together simultaneously. So there aren't two. There are not two. There is only one. And even the word one doesn't really express it. There is simply wholeness. Everything that's arising is absolutely perfect as it is. And the whole idea that there's a good and a bad has simply evaporated and fallen away, because when the sense of the me is no longer there, when the illusion of the me apparently falls away, all that's left is indescribable. It can't be described. So you live in the confusing world of dualism, as most people do.
I'm sorry, and I cannot do anything about it.
Well, there isn't any you that can do anything about it. It's the illusion that's arisen at a very early age. And having lived in that illusion, it's become what you think of as normal and real.
So in a way, you're saying that there is only this moment, but the problem is that our concept or my concepts are, or my, my thinking mind is kind of making a big fog over it. That's how I...
Well, what you experience is dualism. You're looking at me and you think you feel I am a separate person, or at least separate in some way or other. So dualism brings a sense of separation from everything. So you live in a subject-object world. You are the subject, and everything that's happening in the world is happening to you as a separate. When that illusion drops away, there is only that which can't be described. There is only what appears to be happening. It's indescribable.
I understand.
It's very simple and very ordinary and very free, but it can't be described.
Yeah.
Neither can it be grasped. There's no one to grasp it. And it can't be grasped because it's already everything. It has to be something
rather putting peeling like a peeling an onion. It's like getting all these concepts and ideas away until
no. That's a process. That's a process. In this situation, or in any situation actually, but certainly what you're doing is you're talking to nothing. There isn't anyone here. And I'm actually talking to nothing that thinks it's a something. But all those concepts that the something seems to have collected together and become, and in that way become a very rich person full of concepts and different ideas, which are confusing, all of that can suddenly simply fall away. This isn't about a process of unlayering all those concepts. It's simply that there's a contracted energy in the body, and that holds you in that dualistic experience, and it's possible and it seems to be happening more and more, but that contracted energy, which is only an appearance, is not real. That contracted energy can simply melt into the whole again.
Okay, but you would say that it happens by itself.
Yeah, oh, no question. There isn't anything that brings it about, because of course in the end, when it I'm sorry about this, it actually doesn't happen, because the dualism which you experience is only an illusion. And that illusion simply is no more. So we're not waiting for a happening here. There isn't a happening. It is simply the contracted energy apparently simply is no more. And when it is no more, it's realized it was never real, so there was never a happening that's needed. There isn't anything that needed to happen for it to fall away.
Yeah, the way I understand is because I think I and many other people have had Satori's kind of thing, like where the curtains were opened. But for you, it's like your state of being all the time.
Well, it's not my state of being. It is the state of being. There isn't anybody that has it. I don't have a state of being. There is only what is apparently happening.
Mm-hmm.
Complete oneness. There isn't anything that's separate from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in some way or other, more and more, there's a resonance with this, what we're talking about here, and in that resonance, which isn't yours or mine, in that resonance, the whole illusion being separate can simply fall away.
Yeah, I believe we are getting more and more helpless, and people are starting to see that they don't have the control, and so must be something else. That's what I believe anyway. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.
Okay, now we have Kim. Kim, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Kim.
It's a way in a statement I want to share. It is this: I wish I never met this
Message.
Yeah, this message.
Yeah, I agree. It's awful. Truly awful.
It's so awful, and at the same time, I'm so glad of this simplicity, and because of what you have been talking about with different people, this blah 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 in many directions and spiritual ideas and so on, and this to, in a way, for me to hear, oh, it is this what I have been sensing for many years, but it has been I haven't heard this message for other so it is awful.
And what it's saying is that all there is no thing apparently happening. All of this that's going on, you speaking, me with this thing here speaking, is no thing apparently happening. It's as simple as that. That's all there is. What's apparently happening. And there isn't anything, you can't escape from what's happening, because even if you feel that what's being said here is deluded or wrong, then that's also what's happening. You feel that this message is not acceptable. And if you feel it's acceptable and you feel you want to do something about it, that's also what's happening. There is nothing wrong or right about what's happening. There is only what is apparently happening. It's very, very simple and ordinary. It's this. It's so ordinary.
Yeah.
And so obvious. It is very obvious. When this happens to people, well, it doesn't happen to people. When they die, and there's nothing left but what's happening, they ring up, say, this is amazing, because this has always been, it's always been like this. It never left me, but I went around looking for it. Whereas actually, I've always lived in what's happening, looking for something else, looking elsewhere, away from what's happening.
Exactly, running around in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you hate my message. It's quite right. I don't blame you. I think it's awful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we have Doc Price and Steve in Plymouth.
Both together.
Both together.
Right. Okay.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for
Okay.
this illusion.
Oh, wow.
We really appreciate it. This is Doc Price, by the way. I introduced him as he turned 88 years old a couple of weeks
got it.
ago.
Oh, he's
And he's
really
still
old.
tattooing. That's the
Well,
illusion.
What date
That's
was
the
what date was your birthday, Doc? What date
The
was your
6th of
birthday?
March, Tony, the 6th
Oh.
of March. Yeah, we spoke about this before.
Yeah, we have.
So I'm really interested in all that you're saying. It's a very a new concept that is very different, and I appreciate it very much. But to get to my question, I have many actually, but to get to my question, why is the illusion of Tony Parsons, why within yourself are you doing this? Why are you giving this message, Tony?
Okay, so I'm not giving it. This is what's happening. There's nobody here with any intention about what's happening. There is only what's happening. So I haven't said to Claire, oh, we must go and give this message because it'll help people to be enlightened, because it's obvious that there is no one. So the message is awful. It completely doesn't recognize that there's anyone or anything that can happen. There is no answer to why, because there is no meaning to anything that's happening.
I understand, and I expected that answer. But there are certain things we do in life to create laughter, to create joy, to create misery.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't do anything. There isn't anybody that does anything. There is no one. Events can happen like laughter or whatever, but there is nobody that creates them. They are what's apparently happening.
And if I'm hungry and I say I need to eat something, that illusion of hunger that is in this illusion of my manifestation, how would you explain that?
Well, what I would explain is that all the time you live in dualism and hunger arises, you believe you are an individual, a self that is hungry. That's your experience. And that for you seems to be real. What I'm suggesting is that none of that is real. There is no you that's hungry, but hunger can arise, and that's all there is to it. There is nothing and no one for whom that hunger arises.
But you get hungry and you eat.
No,
and
I don't. No, I don't get hungry, but hunger arises.
The hunger arises, and you're seen doing what has to be done to deal with that.
No, I'm not. No, you see, you're still coming back to a person who's choosing to do something. There is no one that chooses to do anything, but eating food may or may not happen, but it isn't anybody's choice.
Okay, thanks. I'll come back and ask more questions, Tony.
Fine.
Thank you.
Good.
May God bless you.
What about your 99-year-old friend? Oh no, 88.
88. No, he's got still 11 years to go to that one. We'll still be here. The illusion will still be here.
Oh no, it won't. It may not be there this afternoon at 3:30. It can fall away. It's falling away all over the place. The illusion of the self is falling away all over the place. It's the time for that, or the apparent time for that to happen.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm actually an old apostolic priest, but
right.
what you are saying is closer to what we are saying than any other religion I've ever come across. That's why I'm attracted to what you're saying. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Okay, we've now got Darius Wisniewski.
Right.
Darius.
Okay.
Is Darius there? You need to unmute yourself,
hello,
Darius.
Darius, hello. Unmute.
You need to unmute yourself, Darius.
I've already did that.
Okay, jolly good.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I can
now.
see you now. Yes, absolutely.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yes.
The technology. Good morning from Scotland.
Scotland. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. I've been actually living in Scotland over 20 years, but I'm dual national. And I actually don't have a question, but it's just a delight in that message you
Thank
send
you.
through. It's not only you. I realized that something happened. I can't say it's happened to me, because this brain which communicates the message to you, and
No, it
seems
doesn't.
fine.
No, sorry. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's just. See, I've been working at sea for over 20 years, plenty time. This body has plenty time to go there with things stuff. I've always been a seeker in a way. So
what's
religion,
your
my Catholic background, all these stories, finally sees the message as such. I know that you are not communicating the message, and I'm not asking the question at all. Brilliantly, that was spotted not even by me. It was spotted by the brain which sits here. I think it thinks. I'm talking to another brain, which are basically.
Well, that's what now hold on. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. Now, what's your question?
No, my question is that who sees that? There's nobody here actually to see it. Is it the brain? Is that the brain sees its own absence?
No, the brain is. Okay, the brain is just a functioning organism in the whole.
Yes.
There isn't anything unique about it. It doesn't have any self-volition. It simply is another thing that's happening. All there is what's happening, and this is, there isn't a particular thing that sees anything. It just is seeing.
Yes, yes. But don't you think that the brain creates all that?
No, not at all. No.
That there's a
personality. The brain is just a function in the whole. There isn't anything that creates everything. There is only what is apparently happening.
What is apparently happening. So the energy, as you called, the energy which is mystery anyhow, you can't call it, you can name it, and creates the brain, creates the body, it creates everything.
No, hold
seen
on. It doesn't.
and unseen, both of things. I can't call it. It's not me understanding that message at all. I don't want to argue with you and saying you're not right. And I absolutely are for this message. I delight the message. I can't find the vocabulary and the way of communicating other than that what this brain was taught. The information was put in this brain since the childhood. Even the language I speak now, the second language, which is English, was put in this brain. There's nobody here to acquire that brain or make a decision of being in Scotland or being
That's
there,
a story. This is a story now.
It's just a story.
What's apparently happening? All there is what's apparently happening. So, where are you going?
Basically, the question is, this is talking to itself.
That's what you believe. You believe?
No, I don't believe anything. I'm not here. I'm absolutely not here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
What I see from your message, yes, what I see from your apparent message is that basically what happens now is talking. This energy just enjoys or not enjoying talking, being Tony Parsons, being Darius.
If that's what you believe,
having opinion, I can't. This brain can't express this in other ways. That's why I'm using this form of I, me, understanding.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's seen as there's nobody here. Actually,
okay.
The Darius is a creation of this brain. There's nobody.
Okay, if that's what you believe, that's fine. That's what's happening. Yeah, fine. Thank you very much.
I don't.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you. Anita Dulos, you've got a question? Would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Tony.
Hi, yeah.
I want to thank you for your message and give my greetings to Claire.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay, just 1 second. So now we've got DCM's iPhone. DCM's iPhone. Sorry, I can't be more specific than that. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question? Hello?
Hello.
Hi,
You need
this
to
is
unmute.
Dave.
Oh,
Yeah, hi, this is Dave. Hi, Tony. Hi, Claire.
oh yeah.
Hi.
Appreciate you doing this. I talked to you a little bit earlier this week, and we were talking about some of the older books from your library of books. I've been reading you for 20 years, and I was curious about, I quoted one message, one chapter in there, or one paragraph where you talked about closing your eyes and being in stillness. And that was out of Invitation to Awaken. And you said that you probably wouldn't say that now.
No.
And I was curious about what other stuff you wouldn't say that you might have.
Oh no, I'm sorry, we can't go into all of that. When I first
Okay.
started writing books, I wrote certain things that I would not now write, which are dualistic. The idea of you closing your eyes and being in presence is dualistic.
Okay, maybe
then
you
writing, I was writing these things not being clear.
Okay, well then.
I think his phone's
Okay.
gone.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we've got Helen and Perry. Helen and Perry, you need to unmute yourselves to ask your question, please. Helen and Perry.
Hello.
Hello, hang on a sec. We just 1 second. Hello. You need to unmute yourself.
Unmute. Hello.
Hello, we can find, yes. Do go ahead.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Tony and Claire.
Hello, would you like to ask?
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. You've lost.
Now.
Yeah.
It's okay. We could see you just then.
Okay.
Good.
Now we can see you too. Hello.
Oh, hang on a minute. Then just 1 minute. Something. Just done something. 1 minute.
That's okay. No, it's fine. Oh.
I'm just making.
Hello. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Hi. Hi,
Hi, would
Tony
you-
and Claire.
Yeah. Would you
Hi.
like to ask a question?
Oh,
Otherwise,
here
I'll
they
be
are.
fair.
Here they are. Yeah. Okay,
We
we've got you
don't
now.
really have.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're from Australia, and we just wanted to say how we have loved your message for many years,
Thank you.
and just wanted to say hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Okay. Now we have Sheer. Sheer. Is Sheer there?
Yes.
You'd like to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Hello, Sheer.
Do you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tony.
Hello.
I would like to ask you again one thing. Why here is a perception, understanding, and radiation, but not yet it?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that, please?
I said in this side, in my side, I have to say that there is an understanding, and here is a perception, and yet not it, which make me just think about you and nothing else. I just go on and on. I become you, not as you, but as just think what you say all the time. It's always here. It's always in my back. I cannot explain it, you know. It's night and day. When I wake up, when I sleep, if I do, I don't know if I do that. As you said, there is no one. But yet, I mean, there there is understanding. I understand what you said. I feel what you said. And there is a radiating, but not yet.
No, because the sense I get is that you're still in understanding. The sense I get when you're talking is that there's something that you understand, but this is beyond understanding. It's about a sense, a contracted sense of energy in the body, which simply apparently evaporates. But I get the sense with you that you're holding on to what you understand about this.
Yes, you know, at the same time, I do know that it's not something that I should understand. This also I know. Even if I understand this, as you said, it's also is what it is, you know,
Yeah.
as you say. So in some time, Tony, Tony, you know, my English is not so.
That's all right. All there is what's happening.
But when you speak, when there is a speak, it's sense. I don't understand, but it's sense. But if someone else asks me by my language, I can explain them exactly what you said, you know. And, and sometimes when I did explain what you said, the other person become very afraid, you know.
Yeah.
But myself, I don't know, when I was very young, I'm from Afghanistan, but not Taliban.
No.
So, you know, when I was very young, I always think that's all I see. It's really cannot be this, you know, because I do even thought about what I see, because I see. I wonder if it's me I see or it's that which see, you know.
Yeah, you're trying to work it. You don't. This can't be worked out. You can't work this out. You can't. There is no answer. Although I'm responding to questions all the time, there is no answer that comes out of here because there is no answer because there's nothing that's lost or gained. There simply is, or everything that seems to be happening. All there is what's happening. This is about something incredibly simple.
Yes,
all there is.
Yeah, I do. I did understand I did listen to you, and also I don't know if you know about Sufi master. His name was Rumi.
I know Rumi.
Rumi. You know, in my life, the only one I never prayed in my life. I did maybe before because of someone which was around. I went with them. But the only one and a person, I mean, which I did really go through, it was Rumi. And after that, it's really you know. You as nothing and Rumi as nothing, you know.
No, and Rumi said, if you find a shop that's empty, go to that shop.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Geraldine, we have now for a question.
Yeah. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Can you see me? You're right.
I think I can. Have you got black hair? Yes, I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you say something about the time being an illusion?
About time? Well, everything is only an appearance, and time, the idea of time, is simply an appearance of time. It isn't real. But all the time you live in dualism, then everything seems to be real, including the idea of time, and the idea that you only have so far of that time, some part of that time to live in, and then one day later on you will die because you believe you are real, nobody actually dies. There isn't anybody that's alive. So how can there be anybody that dies? But certainly in the dualistic world, it seems as though time is real. When that illusion falls away, there is no time, there is no past, there is no future. All there is what is apparently happening. Time is limitation. Time and space imply that there's a limited time for this to happen, that you will live for so long as I've said, and space implies that you only live in a certain place and you are limited by that place. Whereas actually all there is boundlessness. Everything is completely boundless. When the me falls away, when the illusion of the separation falls away, it's absolutely obvious that everything is free and boundless.
I'll have to settle in all that.
Sorry?
I'll have to let it settle.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have Robert Bloemendahl. Robert, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hi,
Hello,
Tony.
Robert. Oh, yeah.
Hi. It's always an adventure to speak to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what comes out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of struggling with why there is no now.
Oh, golly. Well, you're struggling with why, really, because why implies the idea that there is some sort of sense and meaning to everything, and there isn't. There's no meaning or purpose to anything. So the question why simply drops away, because why is a question about what is the meaning of this or that. There is no meaning. There's nothing happening. So how can there be a meaning?
Okay. So is there a now?
No, of course not. No, because if there was a now, there would be a then. Now and then. There is no now. There is no time. All there is the nature of no thing which can't be understood or known. And it's absolutely beyond the idea of time or purpose.
There's also no this.
No.
This.
No this. No that.
No that.
There's no this. There's no that. This and that lives in the dualistic world.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot, especially during these calls. There's lots of laughter and lightness on this side, and laughing at all these borders, and still there are no judgments or thoughts, but there still is this me and the world thing.
Okay. So you still live in as though you are a person in the world.
Vaguely, yes.
Although all those things are, I see. So are you sort of on the edge?
Wobbling.
Wobbling. Yeah, that's a guy. I used to wobble. No, really. There was sort of both,
like that.
But still in the dream.
Yeah. Still in the dream.
For there to be a wobble, there has to be something still in the dream.
Yes.
Only just holding on by the fingernails. So trying to survive as a person. Afraid of dying. Although when this thing that's holding on dies, there's absolute freedom.
Well, there's no conscious being afraid of dying.
Oh, really?
Not at all.
Right.
But clearly, it must be afraid of dying because it's holding on. You can. It's being sensed in what is happening, but there is no emotion of fright or whatever.
No. Okay, fine.
Well, that is kind of what it is. Huh?
Yeah.
Just wobble till it's over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I'll be I'll be joining your weekend in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, great. There's a
Yeah.
weekend, by the way. Oh, there's a weekend happening in April.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And it's all on the website. All the
yes.
Lovely.
Really
Good.
looking forward to it. Bye,
Great.
Tony.
Bye.
Okay, now Rude Pierre. Rude Pierre. Sorry if I've mispronounced that.
Oh no, you pronounced that just fine.
Jolly good.
Yeah, so
Just
yeah,
fine.
this is great. It's great to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
Yeah. So first of all, I'd like to preface this by, this message is absolutely amazing. And I just have a few questions. So
Yeah,
why
sure.
isn't this message just another belief system or a belief? Even though if it's a negation, of everything, someone can perceive that as being just another belief.
Or it can be perceived, yeah. Sorry, it would be perceived by somebody who lives in the dualistic world, because in the dualistic world, a lot of people live in that world, have a sense that there's something that can be believed or not believed. Belief is married to doubt. So if there's a belief about something, there's also a doubt about it. And all you could do with this message is try and understand it and then believe in what you understand. And that has no relevance at all to that which is being expressed. Because what's being expressed can't be believed because it's beyond belief or knowledge. It's a mystery. So how can you believe a mystery? How can it be believed that all there is empty fullness? How can there be empty fullness? It can't be. It's not a concept that can be believed, because this points to that which is beyond knowing.
All right, thank you. I have a few more questions. Now, if there's no free will,
No,
then
wait a
why?
minute. There's no one.
There's no one. Okay. All right. So the follow-up to that, then, why isn't everything predetermined? Because somehow in the head of the apparent me, those things are usually linked together.
Okay. Predetermination is entirely dependent on time, and there is no time. But predetermination is something that determines what could happen next or what is happening now. There is no time, so the idea of predetermination can only arise in dualism, and it's complete and utter illusion.
All right. Thank you. And then also, why isn't there any awareness or?
Awareness is a function which keeps the individual locked into separation. Awareness and consciousness are words which mean knowing. I know that I am. I know I'm sitting on a seat. I know, therefore, by knowing that I'm sitting on a seat, I remain separate from sitting on the seat, because I know I am a real person who is sitting on a real seat. The whole of awareness and consciousness are functions which maintain separation. When the illusion of the me falls away, what falls away with it is awareness, or the knowing of something, and consciousness. They are both functions which keep the individual separate.
Okay, thank you. And then my last question would be this: why does the me feel that by watching your videos that it will fall away, and is that itself a process?
No, it's not a process, because there's nothing to fall away. Everybody that may be watching this video actually isn't real. They aren't real people watching a real video. They are only an appearance of nothing. So I'm speaking to 200 or 300 nothings. They're not real. So there's nothing to fall away. Already there is only what is. There is only no thing.
All right. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we've now got Anri Ikenga. Anri Ikenga.
Hi. Konnichiwa. Hello.
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 Nice
Hello.
to see you. Good evening from
Good evening.
Japan.
Of Japan.
Yes. Sorry, I have no question. I just want to say thank you for hosting the meeting.
Okay.
So I can join, and I enjoy this meeting. And please tell Claire a big thank you from me, because she sent me a email. So sorry, there's many questions. So I don't have a question, but
That doesn't matter. It's lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
yeah, lovely to talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we've now got Nikki Peters. Nikki Peters.
Hiya.
Tony. Hey there.
Hello, Nikki.
Hi, nice to see you.
And you. I
Good.
like your hat. I like your hat. It's
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, man.
You're not wearing one.
No, not today. No.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that I spoke to you a few times, and I noticed that, on this call also, that where I come from when I ask a question becomes really apparent. What I mean is that whenever I ask you a question or something is on my mind,
yeah,
I very quickly then see what it is.
Yeah.
And kind of painfully obvious.
Yeah. That's all right. That's okay. That happens a lot. Yeah. No, it's what some people actually want to ask a question, and then as they're going to ask it, it falls away anyway.
Right. And the nothingness, as you call it, or it becomes obvious when we speak, and at the same time the unnatural version also becomes very
the dualistic,
obvious. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to clear that.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've got Niall Phillips. Niall, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Good morning, Tony. Lovely to meet
Morning,
you.
Niall.
Tony, when I was, for 42 years, there was a person. There was this person. The person goes out for a walk one morning. It's snowing. A snowflake falls on the surface of the person's eye. And then there's boundless energy. There is nothingness. There is... And then the person is back.
Yeah.
Why is the person back?
Why not? There is no why. It's all there is what happens. So there is no one, and then suddenly there seems to be someone again. That's what happens. That's what can happen. But the being someone is not wrong, and it's not right. It's just what happens. And there's nothing that can be done about it. There's nothing that needs to be done about it, because it already is no thing apparently happening, and that's all there is.
So you have a person, you have nothingness, then you have a person.
Yeah,
apparently. Does the person ever go back or find that nothingness?
No, that nothingness can't be found, because it's already all there is. You really want to listen to that? The nothingness can't be found because it's all there is. You're looking at it, you're speaking to it, you are it yourself. There is only no thing.
Okay.
All the time there's a sense of someone, and they will ask, why do I keep on? Why do I move into being no one and then move back into being someone? There is no answer to that, except that all there is what's happening. And there's nothing wrong with the self or the contracted energy apparently arising again. It's what's happening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, we've got Billy Tier. Billy, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Interesting. Yeah. Hello, Billy.
Hello, Billy. Would you like to unmute yourself? That's
Hello.
it.
Hello, Billy.
Hello, Tony. Thanks for this. Is an example that time is an illusion?
It's an appearance.
Is it? Yeah. Would an example of that be that tonight, supposedly at midnight, we're supposed to put our clocks forward an hour?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just a practical thing. I mean, you know, time is a practical thing in that sense, but it's not real.
Yes.
So if you arrange to meet somebody at 6 o'clock, it's a very practical thing rather than not having a time to meet, but it's completely without any meaning or purpose.
Yes, thanks. That answers that. Thanks for that.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Ted.
Bang. Bang.
We've got another question from a question from Andy Pierce now.
Okay, Andy.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Andy.
Oh, God.
It's a bit of a story, but if you mentioned Rumi earlier on, and in Rumi, and I know he talks about the day of the last. I don't really know what that is exactly, but it's
the day of the
Alast, A-L-A-S-T.
Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. From for the story, the idea is really that there was unity and then a separation. That separation is in the story that we talk about. Seems to create a longing that just goes on. And the more I'm conscious of that, it feels that it's down to something like unconditional love. I just wonder if you could talk to that a little bit, if that makes sense. The question is really, what is unconditional love, and in what way does that link us to that unity that was original?
The answer to that is that everything is unconditional love. What you're looking at, what you're feeling, what is happening, what's apparently happening, which I call no thing, is also unconditional love. It's not that there's no thing and unconditional love. It's just that no thing is unconditional love. And it can't be described or understood because it's beyond all embracing. All embracing would imply that it is something that would then embrace life. It is beyond all embracing because it is already everything. But the way in which it can be described, there's no way it can be described because it's something that is beyond experience. When I first walked across the park, I was a person, and then there was no more. There was nothing and everything, just nothing and everything. I wasn't there anymore. And one of the things that was absolutely apparent about what seemed to be apparently happening was that everything was unconditional love. But it's absolutely, totally beyond description. It's so stunning. Unconditional love is so stunning that it can never be described. And yet it's also realized that what's being expressed here is that it is literally everything and nothing.
Everything. So everything we see, or everything that happens, when you talk about it's just what's happening.
Yeah, it's unconditional love.
Is unconditional love.
And
including
even
all the bad
energy,
stuff.
Yeah, the contracted energy and the demand to find out, the seeking that arises, and the longing that arises is all unconditional love. And when you that is looking or seeking falls away, then suddenly that will be recognized, and that, well, it's just stunning. People talk to me a lot about that then. It's just amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we've just got one written question, Tony. I don't know who it's from. It's from somebody's iPhone, but I'll just read it out. I watched a very old audio recording on your internet, and you said there, the beloved is watching you, being a child, growing up, becoming a teenager, etc. So my question is, you said someone is watching, and you said it is the beloved. I never hear you saying this nowadays. How come?
Well, only because I think it's misleading for people to think that there's something outside there watching. I don't know when that was said, but what it is actually, what's behind that, that statement is that everything is the beloved. It's actually similar to the last question. Unconditional love, the child grows up and does all sorts of things and has all sorts of adventures, but all of that is embraced and beyond embraced in that unconditional love, or in what I call the beloved. But there isn't a separate beloved. You're talking to it, you are it. It's all there is.
Thank you. So we have one question now from Sundar Singh again, please, if you wouldn't mind, Sundar, unmuting yourself.
Yeah, I saw there is no one, so I thought maybe I'll make use of this time. Hi, Tony, me again.
Oh, yeah, me again.
I see one state is not aware of the me, which is like being completely into the duality, not aware of.
Say that again, all of that.
I see 4 states. One is not aware of me, which is completely in duality, not being aware of the me. And then there is an awareness of me, okay? And there is an awareness of the contracted energy.
Yeah.
And what you is, there is no me.
Well, the me is an illusion. The me is energy in that form. The me is the beloved appearing to be a me that either recognizes itself or doesn't.
So what is that which is observing this movement, you know, like?
Or me.
Yeah.
The observer is that which is separate, apparently separate, observing itself as a contracted energy, or what it would call me. It lives in the dream of me, and in most, a lot of cases, it actually experiences itself, the me, as real.
So the one who is observing is also a part of the me.
Yeah. It's also wholeness arising as an observer of the me. There's nothing that's separate. There is no separation. All there is what happens. And what can happen in the whole is the observation or the awareness of an apparent me in the body. It's not right or wrong. It's what is apparently happening.
Is there any effort of the me to stay as an observer, like being in your presence?
No.
No. Okay.
It just is what's happening. When you first, as a tiny child, when contracted energy arises in the body, there's suddenly an awareness of me. There's nothing that does that, and there's no one that does that. It's what's apparently happening. And then one day it isn't anymore. So for most people, they live in the dream of me. Most people live in dualism. What you see is a world full of people who are living in dualism and experience themselves as real and the world as real. When that body dies, at the point that it dies and is no more, suddenly that whole illusion of being a real me dies with it. But when it dies, when it pulls away, it's recognized that it never was real anyway. So there was nobody ever alive in the world to then finally die. There isn't anybody in the world. The idea that there's someone is a dualistic dream. So the world is full of no ones believing they are someone.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a question from someone on their iPhone.
Right.
It just says iPhone. So anyone who's, I don't know who you are.
That's all right. Hello, nobody.
Hello, iPhone.
Hello, iPhone. No.
No.
Well, I think that's I
Just
think
got-
that's.
We,
Oh, hello.
Hello.
No.
Oh, okay. There's one question from Emerson, if you want.
Oh, good old Emerson. Hey.
Okay.
I'm asking for a friend, Tony, but can you teach a method on how to be really good looking?
No, what you should really ask is, how is it that somebody so deeply intelligent can also be so good looking? That's the question.
That's the question actually that I wanted
That's
to ask.
very good, Emerson.
All right. I'll see you at the end of April.
Okay, good. Yes. Don't forget, end of April, big meeting, 3 days. Thank you very much. We love you and thank you so much for being here. And also, Sue, thank you so much for doing all this. And also, we had Emerson co-hosting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Tony.
Thank you.
Bye, Tony. Thanks very much.
Hi, Tony. Lovely to see you both.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks. See you later. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye, Claire.
Bye, Moy.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you,
Nice
Tony.
to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Hi, Claire.
Nice
Bye,
smile.
Hi.
Titos. Hey, hey.
Hey.
Bye.
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 Thank you. See you next time.
Thanks.
Yes. Bye.